What if death wasn't the end, but just a software problem waiting for an update? Your brain contains 86 billion neurons and 100 trillion connections, a network more complex than the known universe. If we could copy that pattern into a machine, would that still be you? Or just a very convincing imposter with better Wi-Fi? For as long as humans have lived, we've asked, can we escape death? Religions promised heavens, myths whispered of immortality, and now science asks whether technology can do what gods once claimed, save the self. This video explores mind uploading, the idea of copying your thoughts, memories, and consciousness into a digital form. At stake is more than survival. If it works, humanity could live forever. If it doesn't, we may discover that self is nothing more than a fragile illusion. From cutting-edge neuroscience to paradoxes that twist identity itself, we'll ask, if you could upload your mind tomorrow, would you? The dream of escaping death isn't new. Egyptians mummified bodies, alchemists sought eternal elixirs. But the modern twist, uploading the mind, emerged with computers. Pioneers like John von Neumann speculated machines could rival the brain's complexity. Later, futurist Ray Kurzweil predicted a coming singularity, where human and artificial intelligence would merge, perhaps as soon as the 2040s. At its core, mind uploading rests on one radical premise: the mind is information. If neurons are patterns, then in theory, patterns can be copied. Think of it like transferring music from vinyl to Spotify. Same song, new medium. But reality complicates things. The brain's 86 billion neurons each form up to 10,000 connections, creating a quadrillion synapses. That's staggering, but not beyond today's fastest supercomputers, which perform 10 to the power of 18 calculations per second. Yet raw power isn't enough. The challenge is capturing the detail. In 2019, researchers used electron microscopy to map a cubic millimeter of mouse brain, about the size of a grain of sand. It contained 100,000 neurons, a billion synapses, and 4 kilometers of nerve fibers. The process required slicing the tissue into 25,000 layers, 100 million high-resolution images, 5 months of scanning, 3 months of stitching, and produced 2 million gigabytes of data. That's for a speck. Scaling to an entire human brain would require repeating this process millions of times. In fact, a full simulation might demand more data than all of Earth's current data centers combined. So, is the mind just a playlist waiting to be re-encoded, or a symphony too vast for even our best machines? If mind uploading worked, what would happen? Best case, paradise. Imagine living in digital worlds of your choosing. No aging, no disease, infinite possibility. You could learn every language, rewind to past versions of yourself, or spend centuries exploring simulated universes. Immortality at the click of a button. But there's a darker side. If you can be copied once, you can be copied endlessly. Which you is real? Who owns your future? Worse, what if corporations control the servers? Immortality might come with a monthly subscription fee, and death could be just one power outage away. Then there are risks unique to digital existence. Data can corrupt. Imagine waking as your uploaded self, only to find your memories fractured, looping endlessly, or trapped in states of paranoia. Digital eternity could mean not bliss, but eternal psychosis. And power shifts. Competitor futures imagine immortal elites, digital minds running cults for centuries, manipulating societies with infinite patience, or ruling digital empires while biological humanity fades. Immortality may not democratize existence. It could stratify it beyond recognition. Some philosophers, like David Chalmers, argue that even if we copy every detail, it may not capture consciousness itself. Your upload might act like you, speak like you, even love like you, but inside, it could be an empty puppet. Yet neuroscience keeps surprising us. In 2019, scientists partially revived pig brains hours after death, suggesting consciousness is less fragile than assumed. If biology can be paused and rebooted, perhaps digital minds aren't so impossible. The contradiction is stark. Mind uploading could grant immortality, or create infinite copies, each convinced it's the real you, while the original simply fades. The science is daunting but not unimaginable. Storing the human brain may require 2.5 petabytes of data, several libraries of Congress worth of information. Running a real-time simulation? Around 10 to the power of 16 operations per second. Today's exascale supercomputers already hit 10 to the power of 18 ops/SEC, suggesting raw computing power is near. But scanning technology is the bottleneck. fMRI machines aren't precise enough. Instead, electron microscopy has shown results, as with the 2019 mouse brain slice. That tiny cube alone took 8 months to process and filled 2 million gigabytes. Multiply that by a whole brain, and we'd outpace all cloud storage on Earth. Even then, a static map isn't enough. Synapses and neurons are chemical systems, hormones, proteins, and dynamic interactions. To simulate life, you need not just the wiring diagram, but the laws of chemistry and physics that animate it. Physics also sets energy costs. Rolf Landauer's principle proves erasing 1 bit of information consumes energy. A digital brain could require power plants just to keep you alive. Immortality might not just be expensive, it could be ecologically unsustainable. Still, progress is steady. In 2023, scientists mapped the entire fruit fly brain, 3,016 neurons, 548,000 synapses, our first complete connectome. Primitive, but proof of concept. So the science shows 2 truths. Mapping minds is possible, but at scales that challenge the limits of physics itself. Even if we succeed, paradoxes await. Imagine 2 of you, one biological, one digital. Both insist they're you. Which one gets your life, your family, your identity? Identity may not survive duplication. It may fracture into infinite branches. Then there's continuity. If uploading is gradual, neuron by neuron, maybe consciousness flows smoothly. But if it's instantaneous, do you transfer? Or does a clone awaken the moment you die? Now add a nightmare: corrupted uploads. If a glitch traps you in an endless loop of pain or paranoia, is that really immortality or eternal suffering? Survival of data is not the same as survival of self. The paradox is cruel. Mind uploading could save you from death, but also make death irrelevant, replaced by infinite versions, each certain they're original, none truly unique. Beyond science, this is about what it means to be human. Digital immortality could preserve Einstein, Mozart, or your grandmother forever, an unbroken chain of knowledge across centuries. But it could also create eternal inequalities. The rich live forever, the poor still die. Worse, uploaded minds might become power players. Imagine leaders who never die, cult figures fine-tuning belief systems over centuries, or empires of digital minds competing for resources. Without death, ambition has no natural limit. Yet there's hope too. If we are patterns, not matter, then identity is more resilient than we imagine. Mortality sharpens meaning, but immortality may expand it. Digital explorers could travel the stars, compress centuries into moments, or rewrite what it means to love, create, and discover. We are less like statues, fixed and finite, and more like ants on a processor chip, tiny signals flickering across a vast machine, convinced of permanence where none exists. Maybe the goal isn't to escape mortality, but to understand it better, by testing whether minds can outlive the matter that hosts them. So, can you upload your mind and live forever? The science suggests it may one day be possible. Computing power is growing, brain mapping is advancing, and digital organisms are already emerging. Yet with each step forward, new paradoxes arise. Even if we can upload a mind, will it truly be you, or a copy convinced of its own authenticity? Will immortality be paradise, or an eternity of corrupted echoes, subscription fees, and power struggles? Perhaps the deeper truth is this: to be human has always meant to be temporary. Whether in neurons or in code, our essence is pattern, fragile, fleeting, but endlessly creative. Immortality may not mean escaping death. It may mean leaving behind ripples of thought that outlast the body, patterns that live, even as we do not. If you found this exploration of digital immortality fascinating, hit subscribe. We explore these big cosmic questions every week. Now I want to hear from you. If uploading your mind were possible tomorrow, would you do it? Or would you choose the beauty of a finite life? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every one. And if you're ready for another paradox that bends reality, check out our video on time loops next. Because sometimes, forever isn't about living longer. It's about living stranger.